Having spent my entire life paying mental health professionals, they're now paying me. Thank you. Thank you. Just to give you a little small window into my childhood, when I made a little money, my sister and I were redoing my mother's kitchen, and the tile guy was there retiling it. And my mother was a painter. She was married 7 times. She didn't date, she married. Anyway, we're retiling mother's kitchen, and the tile dude pries off a tile, and he holds up the tile, and there's a perfect hole in the middle of it, and he says, "Miss Karr, this looks like a bullet hole." And my sister said, "Isn't that where you shot at Daddy?" My mother says, "Oh, no. That's where I shot at Larry. Over there is where I shot at your daddy." I'm laughing about these things now because we remember through a filter of self. And I stand before you as someone whose life was changed by mental health professionals. The stigma in our family for the mental illness in our family was such that when kids walked down the street, they would walk across everybody's yard, and when it came to our yard, they crossed the street.
The stigma of mental illness is alive and well. Even though studies tell us that 1 in 5 suffers from some type of ailment each year, people are still embarrassed to seek for help.
After my son was born in 1986, I became a daily drinker, and I couldn't stop drinking. I didn't drink during my pregnancy, thank God. But I became the bad mom in the after-school special. I remember sitting on the back porch, drinking Jack Daniels at night, and that was the highlight of my day. It wasn't bathing my son or going to the park with him. It wasn't teaching. It wasn't being able to write and having poems published every now and then. I was 9 months sober when it wasn't like I stopped drinking and I got depressed. It's like I stopped drinking and I woke up to the severity of a depression I had had my entire life.
We are 2.5 times the national average with our rate. Our rate is 28 per 100,000 population. Nationally, it's 11. We have had a 150% increase in deaths by suicide since 2006. There is so much multi-generational impact to this issue. I don't know of anything that is more traumatic experience than living through this.
Suicide became the idea of it became a source of comfort to me. And I developed a plan. I had a therapist, I didn't tell her. And then I had been doing some volunteer work at a halfway house, and I didn't hurt myself, but I drove to the halfway house. I said, I need to check into the mental Marriott. I, in some ways, would have looked okay to you. But it was at that point that I began to take people's suggestions. I loved the mental Marriott, by the way. I liked the mental institution because I found help there. And I have a meditation that I do, and I walk down the street, and I see each face I see, I pray for. And if it's really bad, if my head is really talking to me and it never has good things to say, because I could still go this way, it's still talking to me, I try to imagine myself as that person. You know, they say imagine they're Jesus or something. I could never do that. But imagine myself inside that person's face. And what I see in this room are a group of people trying to imagine themselves in other people's faces. It takes a village to love people back to health. And this is that village. And I am very honored, however briefly, to be a citizen of it. Thank you. Thanks very much.